Leave. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, true believers? Welcome to the Believes Crypto Show. My name is Believes, and we're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. And we're going to lead off with, you know what I do sometimes, just to give you guys an idea, what I think I wanted to do. Because I hadn't done it before. I just kind of do my own thing and just sort of hope for the best. So what I think I'm going to do is hit that like button, by the way, before I do it. Make sure you hit that like button. Did you hit the like button? Did you hit that like button? The like button, the one that says like. It's the L with the I and the K and the E, or the one with the diss. Don't diss me. Don't dislike me. But also, if you dislike me, that's okay too. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about thumbnail right now. So I'm doing the thumbnail right now for the Terra Luna Classic, and I kept it very, very simple, and I thought it would be hilarious. For some reason, it makes me laugh to say happy hollowed weenie. Why, I don't know. Because I probably have some serious issues. And we're going to use the Friday the 13th font, which I got a few years ago and just absolutely never used. I also have one called Frightmare, if that one looks a little bit better. Maybe we'll do that one. We'll do Happy Hollowed Weenie. We'll turn it red. Then we'll put effect on it. We're going to put outline. We're going to outline this thing in black. And you might be asking yourself, please, what's got to be a black thing? I don't know. I don't make this shit up. Anyway, so we're going to do Happy Hollowed Weenie. And that's going to be our... that's what we're going to do for the day. Also, then we're going to wait. We screwed that up. We're going to move. I think we're going to take some positions here. We're going to move our icon over here. And then we're going to move this over here. Maybe dock it a little bit. Docking. All right. And we'll do that one. Happy Hallowed Weenie. And then maybe move this over here just a little bit. Close enough. All right, so then we're going to hit share. We're going to download, and then boom. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So, and by the way, I made a whole bunch of new thumbnails last night. There's the pictures. And now once I did it, like I spent like a little while, like I was like, I gotta get the right shirt, got something like that, because all of my clothes don't fit anymore, because I've lost so much weight, stuff like that. So now I'm just kind of sitting on this shit and like, you know, I got to find a shirt that fits. I got to find a shirt. So I found a shirt that fits, and I was like, you know what? Let's go with the Matrix background, because that would look good. And then it would be kind of Christmassy or something like that. And I don't like it. Once I got done, I was like, you know what? I don't like it. I don't know. You know what I mean? So... all right, so, but anyway, so now we have the Happy Hallowed Weenie, and then we're going to put the upload right there. We're going to do that. Then we're going to make the title. Then we've done that. Then we're going to paid promotion, and we're going to put it on the playlist for Terra Luna. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, for anybody who's like, why are we talking about crypto, bro? We are. This is crypto. This is the crypto video for Terra Luna Classic. So then we're going to do that. We're going to add an end screen, which I'm going to make my own end screen. Like I keep doing all these stupid things. Like I got to do better. Anyway. And then we're going to schedule this thing for today, which, by the way, YouTube, get your shit together. Doing this on the last day of the year or the month, and then scheduling it for later on the same day. We're going to set it as a premiere. Then we're going to schedule it, and then boom, we're going to do that. Pop. So we got that done. Then we're going to close it because we're done. And by the way, you can't just like do it later, or you can't just copy and do it from that screen, because if you do, you can't schedule it in advance. But we're going to go to X. We're going to put that in there. Put it in, Daddy. And then we're going to pop that out. Boom. And then we're going to put a thumbnail on it. And then we're going to hit this, and we're going to schedule it for Glocktober. foistes at 1 o'clock in the PMs. And then we're going to confirm that and we're going to schedule it and boom, now we're done. All right. So now we can talk about this crazy crypto world. Mark's up about $50 billion on the day, which is a very good sign. We haven't really seen a whole lot of news like breaking out over the last few hours that's going to give us any cause to think that there's some kind of massive reversal. Okay. Let's go through. There's a couple of articles that we want to talk about. Okay. So zoom back out. We're going to use CoinGate for this today. And we're going to pop up here and we're going to start with, will crypto market rebound or crash ahead as 10x research tips shorting Ethereum? So what's going on right now? Investors brace for 16 billion Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiry today. Biggest expiry. This is the new quarter. So, and by the way, remember, just for anybody who's really wondering right now, think about where you are. Remember, Dev promised you that they would have a result by the end of this year. And 1 month into this has already passed. So I assume there's got to be a whole lot going on. The only delay, in my opinion, would be U.S. government shutdown. So crypto market crash concerns mount after 1.2 billion in long position liquidations. That's been happening for the last couple of days. That's just been a really big, just been a really bad period of time. We did not close out October the way everybody did at the beginning of the month. Every influencer went with October. I said October. Everybody said October. And then the U.S. government, U.S. markets, all of these seedy, shady, scumbag, dirtbag people just started dumping. And then, of course, they were helped by Wintermute, which, in my opinion, and you're not going to be able to convince me differently, just attacked Donald Trump. That's what I think Wintermute dumping was. But anyway, during the monthly options expiry on Deribit, more than 123,000 Bitcoin options of notional value of 13.52 billion are set to expire. The put call ratio of 0.7 and the max pain price at 114 indicate room for upside due to more call options as compared to put options. Now, what does that mean? That means that there's a lot of opportunity for a pump today. 0.7 ratio means that most people are going call. So we're not bearish on the market, but the put volume has surpassed the call volume in the last 24 hours. So people are looking at it in the rear view saying, well, you know what, I think maybe you should do this. 10x research then reveals a spike in Bitcoin's near-term implied volume while longer maturities barely move, hinting a catalyst for upside. However, Wintermute is, I think it's in Hong Kong. Wintermute HQ. Wintermute's headquarters is in London, England. It's headquartered in London, England. Also recently established a U.S. headquarter, but the company has offices in Singapore and Amsterdam. And when you back up here, it was originally, well, it doesn't say all this right now, but originally it's from China. It was originally from China. So, as a matter of fact, it's one of the biggest holders of properties in China as well. So mess that up again. God damn it. I can't get that right for nothing. All right. So Wintermute dumps on the market and broadens their horizons because they're wanting to make money. They're not wanting to sit back. And by the way, don't forget that when you have companies like this that are directed by, governments like the Chinese government, then they get benefits in the system by doing whatever the Chinese government wants. And look, if you look back and you step back from the ledge and say, how did Wintermute? What did Wintermute do? They moved $1 billion into Binance. Then they dumped their billions of dollars worth of holdings onto the open market at a moment's notice during a time in which Trump was saber rattling with China, and then boom. They started buying back immediately. And by the way, when you see buybacks as aggressive as you saw after that dump, and remember, the context of the dump matters quite a bit. Bitcoin didn't dump nearly as much as one would have thought. Ethereum didn't dump as much as one would have thought. But when you take a step back and you look at some of these other ones, remember, SWI, which is trading at $3 or $4 right now, went to 56 cents on Binance. That's how aggressive. Terra Luna Classic went to 4.015. That is how aggressive this stuff has been. So they took their massive bags and then they started buying back on the dip. And here's the funny thing. If you just consider that Wintermute was dumping into, say, Terra Luna Classic, and it was trading at like 4.055, something like that. So you start dumping on the open market using an AI algorithm to get as much extractable value from it as you can, with your biggest bag being dumped at the 4.055 range, and then you accumulate at the 4.015 range, or start accumulating in that range, and you go up to the 25 range. Then you're starting to see they're able to reaccumulate small bags of speculative assets for dirt cheap prices. It's ridiculous. That's what they did. They manipulated the market so that they could buy everything back cheaply. And of course, it caused panic selling. What happens when you have panic selling? Now you have people who are like, well, you know what? I don't want to put my money in this because that just showed me that it's very, very risky. That's what Wintermute did. They wrecked the market for a short period of time. Now what we need some sort of cleansing here that's going to get us out of it. And what that means is max pain. And the question is, did we achieve max pain with the Wintermute dump? And the answer to that is not really, because only, look, everybody didn't sell. Everybody didn't get disgusted. Everybody didn't get ready to walk away so that you can bring them back in for a FOMO build. Wintermute did this on their own and then did a smart reaccumulation. That didn't leave much money for other market makers to come in and do the same thing. So I would suspect that we'll see some other market makers doing some what can only be described as raggedy bullshit. And I mean, that's how this game works. We're not in the game because we don't have enough money, but that's how the game works. So 10x research revealed the emergence of ETH as a digital treasury model became one of the most powerful narratives of the summer. BitMine strategy prompted institutional investors to accumulate ETH and later distribute it to retail buyers at a premium. However, 10x research claims something broke along the way, and it's now having a profound impact on Ethereum. While the firm remains cautious on Bitcoin, it turned more negative on ETH price setup. Notably, institutional investors are responding to actual flows, not macro liquidity under current crypto market conditions. And that's what we've been saying for a while. You've got donkeys in charge right now. You don't have savvy long-term hodlers. You have scalpers. You have PvPers. We are a PvP market still. So we haven't broken out of the garbage that we were in before to get to something realistic, right? So that really is what's going on in this market. We're just, you can't stab each other in the back as easily as you could before for a large value. So now you're doing it for pennies on the dollar. That's the seedy, shady nature of institutional stuff in these markets. Now, remember, one of those pieces, if we, again, step back from the ledge and we start to look at what really is happening in a lot of these markets, how much, here's the thing. Let's see. Let's go to Grok for this, because I'm going to ask it a weird question here. What percentage of stocks overall are owned or traded by the top 10 companies like BlackRock? Also list those companies, but just give me a relative percentage of how much stock they control. The number that I got for this, by the way, was something like 90%. And I've always gone with it. I never really thought to break it down, try to figure out exactly what it looks like. But I think Grok will kind of rip through the internet here and look at the assets under management and give us a real idea of exactly what we're looking at. Okay. So, and by the way, I don't think it's 90%. I heard that from Tony Edwards on the Thinking Crypto podcast, but I just assumed that it must be true because it was coming from somebody on his show one day. And I didn't believe it. So, so let's see what this is. Top 10 asset management firms by assets under management. BlackRock is number 1 at 10.4. Vanguard 9.3, which is now open to crypto, by the way, had not been before. Fidelity, State Street, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Amundi, Goldman Sachs, UBS, and Capital Group. So relative percentage of stock control. These top 10 firms collectively manage about 47 trillion in assets under management, representing 35% of the global total assets under management. Equities typically comprise 45 to 50% of their portfolios. This translates to them controlling approximately 25 to 30% of the overall global stock market. Now, just consider that, if you will. That's how much money they have. That's how much in assets under management that they have. And this is their strategy. Okay. What happens when they start to do a better job of, or at least a different job of doing it into digital assets? Okay. So that's the question that we have to ask ourselves to try to figure out what's going to happen next. But again, it's not 90%, like they said. Big three, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, account for 20% of U.S. stock market capitalization, 69 trillion total. That is where it gets interesting here. They account for 20% of the U.S. stock market, not 90 or not 80 or whatever, wild percentage people were speculating, but still a significant portion. So everything is controlled by these companies. The stock market is controlled by these companies. They're the ones that hold all of these. So they're going to, and eventually, by the way, this is a good thing because they're eventually going to get into crypto, not into your shitcoin, by the way. There's going to be some liquidity providers, some market makers that will get in there, some VC companies that will get in there and that will start buying meme coins at some point pretty soon. Like, we will see that happen, but it's going to be smaller companies, not going to be the BlackRocks and the Vanguards. But the BlackRocks and the Vanguards are going to get deeper and deeper into Bitcoin, probably Ethereum, probably Solana, probably XRP. And we're going to see a lot of movement coming from these guys. We just haven't seen it yet. But again, they control over 20% of the stock market. So things run or don't run based on what those guys do. That 20% of that market means that they have an incredible ability to control and manipulate price action. So that's why it's very dangerous. And the fact that they also control stuff like Bitcoin and Ethereum, same thing. So the other thing is, and I've told you guys this before, what they're telling you right now is that the ETH price is turning more negative. Why is it turning more negative? Well, let me do this. Let me point it out to you in a way that you will understand. The US government closed before staking ETFs were approved. They were supposed to have it done in October. US government is still shut down for, was it 30th day or something like that? So the US government has been shut down for a period of time in which the Solana ETF should have launched, the XRP ETF should have launched, the Ethereum staking should have launched. Everything that was good, that was going to happen from the SEC or the CFTC did not happen because the US government closed. So part of this is going to be people tiring out because the profit was made. But the ultimate thing is, as long as you can stake your Ethereum, you're disincentivized from selling because you're going to earn more Ethereum, which you think or you speculate is going to be worth a lot more later on. So that's what's going on. The market has been paused because the US government, the DNC, is attacking cryptocurrency. They're attacking everything that, look, if you're MAGA, and again, I'm going to tell you for the record, I am not a MAGA fan. I'm not a Donald Trump fan. I am a fan of tariffs. And in fact, I don't have a problem with almost everything that the guy does. I mean, I don't like that he disrespects people openly. I think we should expect better from our leaders than that. But also, they've been disrespecting him. So, I don't see why it's a problem him fighting back. You know what I mean? They create a double standard because they're trying to manipulate you and get your vote. So we'll see how this all plays out. Should have the government open in a couple days, though. I'm still going to stick with that. I'm still going to say that Chuck Schumer, they are feeling it right now. Democrats are feeling it right now. There was a thing, CNN last night, CNN poll lockdown. This was yesterday. This happened yesterday. There we go. CNN data guru is stunned after poll reveals who's winning the shutdown. Okay. And what they said was CNN data guru Harry Enton was caught off guard, finding a rare bright spot for Republicans during the government shutdown, a modest polling bump. Enton revealed on CNN on Tuesday that Americans' view of Republicans in Congress has improved during the shutdown, which began at the beginning of the month. You might think that the Republicans are in charge of both the House and the Senate. Government shutdown actually might hurt the Republican brand, but in fact, it hasn't. We're seeing a 12-point improvement in the statistics. And look at this. This is on CNN a couple days ago. GOP and independents have picked up 12 points and 8 points in polling in approval rating. That is a great sign for Republicans that they are winning the battle of public opinion. Now, what that means ultimately is Democrats have just found another way to lose. I mean, it is crazy to me that the Democrats think losing is actually winning. Like they feel like they've got something here, that they're doing something here, and it's not working. But they are sticking with it. So here's what I think is going to happen. Chuck Schumer is going to reach out to a couple people. He's going to get enough votes to get 60 votes to pass the continuing resolution. You're going to get that CR. And then the government's going to get back to work probably Monday. They'll probably do it this weekend at the last minute, quote unquote. And then you'll see the government get back to work. Everybody go back to work on Monday, and then we'll get started. And then all of a sudden, you're going to see a flurry of stuff from the SEC for the approvals. And that, my friends, is the important part. When this is done, the SEC, the CFTC are going to throw out just a flurry of crypto-related positives that you're going to start seeing play out. So the military got paid, though. You know what? There were plenty of different ones that are still, getting their funds and stuff like that. But again, this is the Democrats have made a poor choice and a poor decision on where to stand on the line. They've made a very poor decision on where to stand. So hopefully they will get their shit together. And I don't care who's in charge. I really don't care who's in charge. What I care about is it good for cryptocurrency? And that's what we're going to find out. Now, with that being said, let's go to the Kobayashi. And by the way, if they don't get paid, if people don't get paid, then they're going to know. And by the way, you know what? I should say this. When it started out, because I like to mess with my friends. I'm like, well, you can't get it. Here's the thing. You need a super majority to get approval in the Senate. 60 votes for bills. For nominees, you only need a simple majority. Okay. And that was a rule that was changed by Harry Reid back in the early 2000s to combat George Bush putting people, because the Democrats didn't have power. The only place they had power was the Senate. So they changed it to just a simple majority, 50 or 51 people, including the vice president, so that, you could get people confirmed and stuff like that, because there was a lot of problems, or it was Obama. I'm sorry. It was during the Obama administration. Harry Reid, because Republicans were blocking everything and they wouldn't confirm anybody. And we had no people working in the government, because he's a Kenyan Muslim and all that kind of stuff that was all made up. So, but what you still need for all of the bills, you still need 60 people to vote yes. And that's what's been going on right now, is that the Democrats have no leverage because they continue to do the wrong things and they continue to lose power. And because they're doing that, because they're standing on, I don't know if we can say standing on business, but it feels like that they're more concerned about how you, they're more concerned about your pronouns than they are about your paycheck. They're more concerned about your pronouns than they are about how you're doing. They're more concerned about these weird sort of things than they are. And by the way, they're more concerned about just hating on Donald Trump, not for anything he does, but for what they think he might do. And there's people out there, people like Bill Maher, stuff like that are, they're pushing the same thing, like they're pushing the same narratives that he's not going to cede power because, and by the way, here's the one thing, what they got mad. Remember this. I want you, one thing that's incredibly weird, all right? And we got a $20 bomb from Attila the Hun. Thanks for all the great work. Keep up the good work. You are changing your lives with all this info. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else want to do that? Love you too. Man, I really do appreciate it. So they're putting their effort into things that are just not real. Like, again, for example, when Donald Trump failed to say Joe Biden won and concede the election, what they wanted him to do, literally, bend your knee, get down on your goddamn knee, and tell Joe Biden he won. And the fact that that is a thing is so wild, because here's what happened. Just because people have been respectful all this time doesn't mean everybody has to be respectful. That's not what, that's, in my opinion, that is what leadership is about, is having the humility to admit that people want something different. But it created conspiracies left and right. It got people, even January 6th, it's not because they weren't trying. One of the things that people have said is you can't call it insurrection because they weren't trying to overthrow the government. Okay. They were protesting because they don't think the election was fair. Now, Donald Trump was the one that was telling you that it was not fair, that it was rigged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to be perfectly honest with you, the machines were not rigged. The results were not rigged. One thing the Republicans hate is everybody voting, because when everybody votes, then the majority wins, and the majority of people at that time, Democrats. And they weren't happy with what Donald Trump did with COVID. They weren't happy being locked in their house, which we pretend that it was Joe Biden, but it wasn't. We pretend these things, but it wasn't. So, and Donald Trump was good at lying to you. So what he then did was he didn't concede the election, and then he refused to have people stand down because he liked the fact that the Capitol was being attacked. Again, not because they're trying to overthrow, but just because they're protesting and they think the election was stolen. Because, look, I'm going to hurt your feelings, but if that was your case, you're in a cult. And look, it's okay. There's a lot of cults out there. Crypto is a cult. So we're all in some kind of cult. But you fell for it. You fell for a grift, and that grift got a little bit too big, and that created this problem. And now Democrats have been fighting that for 5 years, 6 years now, and creating a boogeyman where it's not a boogeyman. He's just an idiot. He's just an old 80-year-old man who can't take people not liking him. That's all. So they're fighting the wrong battle. So I think that they will wise up. I think they will reopen the government. I think we'll be fine. Okay. Phil Burnell has a cult of dents. Can I be honest with you? I don't know who the fuck Phil Burnell is. It is disgusting how much I stay in my lane anymore and just don't even bother. I don't read news. There was somebody who posted a picture of somebody supposed to be like the most famous person in the world or something like that, and I had no fucking idea who it was. And to be fair, I have no idea who it is still. Did you know that there's a rapper named Cardi B? I didn't. All right, let's get back to it. I did know that there was a Tekashi 69er. So, I'm not completely out of it, but yeah. Bull market peak indicators, none hit. We're going up. TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming needs. And I am proud to announce after Terra Casino, by the way, college football, NFL, you got the World Series out here. You got the NBA out here. Guys, you can make a bunch. And by the way, Jay Manuel, I think somebody out here was saying like they made thousands of dollars on this platform so far. And it's, look, you just got to bet on the winners. That's all it is. You just got to bet on the winners. Terraport.finance. I am proud to announce that terrapump.fun is now listed on Terraport. And if you guys want to create your own meme coin in the Luna Classic ecosystem, you want to get a nice little pump, then here's your opportunity. Go ahead and sign up over there. I appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much for that. You can even go in here and get Believe the meme coin right here. Trading at 12 cents right now. Remember, this was at $1. This was at $1. I mean, God damn it. This was at a penny. This was at a penny. And now it's at 12 cents. So 12x on your Believe meme coin. If you didn't get the Believe meme coin, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. But if you want to, it's terraport.finance. And look, at some point, this market's going to erupt. And when it erupts, things like this are going to erupt. So get yourself a bag. Meme linked. Don't want to talk about meme link because I don't have anything to say about meme link, but I do want to point out Moon AI, which is Pablo's newest project that, by the way, the whole idea for Pablo, for anybody who doesn't understand here, is that he wants to take his money that he makes on Moon AI and that people make over here, and he wants to move it back to meme linked. But this is just a way to get people to give people an entertaining platform and something to do. So I've already sold. I put in 1 BNB at the beginning. I sold at 2 BNB. I took my money and I ran. So I'm not in this right now, but I did miss about a 4x pump, but I got a 2x out of it. So that was good enough for me. And by the way, I wasn't leaving it in order to be the one that got, the rug, if you will. I was going to be the last person holding the bag. So that being said, I think that the money is going to move back over into meme linked at some point. So that's what I'm going to be watching for. But again, I don't think any of this, none of this is going to happen. And then Jay Manuel says, I can't stop. Can't stop winning. Can't stop winning. Anyway, so I think that, I'm not telling you what to do. If you made some money too on this one, then there's probably another, I don't know. There's probably a new leg up here as soon as the markets reverse. Markets are going to reverse when the government opens, in my opinion. So you could see a nice little rip here. Again, I'm not saying that it will. I'm just saying that, it feels to me like this is an opportune moment, but I think the money is going to go back into meme link. So we'll be talking about meme link at some point very, very soon. As far as dev goes, network testnet is live. We invite Web 2 and Web 3 devs to start building on our compliance-ready blockchain. Enjoy instant deterministic settlement with zero counterparty risk. So if you want to click on this, God damn it, click on this. I can't even click. God damn it. All right. Here's all the documents that you need to get started with Dev and start building on the Dev exchange. All right, so Phil Burnell is a streamer on YouTube that begs every day on his streams for money. A pro gamer, yet is a terrible gamer. He is a lol cow. He scams money from the disabled. He is a POS. 18 years of lore. Guy's a nut job. Oh, okay. So, you know what? To be honest with you guys, I said something a long time ago. I'm not going to get off. I'm not going to get off crypto, but I'm going to get on myself for just a second here. I said something a long time ago that I wasn't going to film myself in the gym, or I wasn't going to do anything in the gym or something like that. And then I found myself yesterday sitting doing. By the way, for those of you that don't know, I was doing Lee Priest supersets. If you know what that is, then you're like, oh, you poor guy. But I said I wasn't going to do it. And then, of course, I did it. And I took a picture of myself in the gym getting ready. See those guns right there? See those guns? Wham, 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 wham. I don't know if you can see the pec pump thing, So Jordan's Toolbelt says, every time I invest in whatever Pablo is pushing, I get wrecked. Get in at the start. I mean, same thing for me. Like if I buy something that Pablo has, it doesn't really necessarily pump. But if you get in on the pre-sale, when he launches his little pre-sales, then you do tend to get a 3 or 4 or 5x. So that's what you're looking for. All you're looking for, by the way, just for full clarity's sake here, all you're looking for on these kind of launches is if you can get into a pre-sale and you get a simple 2 or 3x, get your original investment out, and then leave your moon bag in. I chose not to leave my moon bag in because the market has been very, very difficult, and I wanted to have the money instead. Okay, but so I took this picture of myself. It's a little bit blurry, but now I think that I'm going to start doing some fitness stuff. Crypto's fine. Crypto's great, but I need more people to watch the channel. And in order to do that, I need to pivot to things that people are actually paying attention to. Jay Manuel says, I've made good money with Pablo's project. That's exactly right. Don't get in after the fact. Don't get in late. Get in early and let it happen, like let it grow, let it whatever, Anyway, back to it. The Dev network, you can now start doing whatever you want to do on it. So we're going to skip the bubbles because there's not really anything to talk about. We're still at the fear and greed index of 29, which means buy Bitcoin today. The ETF yesterday, 4,000 Bitcoin outflow, 488 million. The Ethereum ETF, probably a total disaster here. Yeah, total disaster here. 184 million in outflows. Again, one thing that I will say about the ETFs is that they are not predictive of the market cycles. They are reactionary to the market cycles. Okay. The market makers, they're not using the ETFs. Okay. The safe investors are the ones that are using the ETFs. So we'll see whether or not this continues. We had a lot of red days, but again, guys, it just here's the thing. Here's the thing. 4 months ago, 5 months ago, whatever it was, we were talking about this market being at $2 billion. Today, it's at 14.5 billion. We are going up at a radical rate. You just don't always see it in the price yet, but you will. All right. Again, to consider, if we were at 2 billion and we finish, if this thing works like a Fibonacci and it retraces all the way back to 7 billion, if it does a 0.50 fib retracement from this top, we're still up 3x from the last time. And remember that last time we were like $2,000 or $1,500 on Ethereum. Okay. So we're in a really good position. You just didn't buy the dip. Do you know what I mean? So so a lot of this depends on your position. Again, like Jay Manuel made a lot of money off of Pablo projects. Jordan lost a bunch of money. It's when you buy, and then what you do once you've got it. If you are serious about investing for the long term, put your money in. When it 2x's, take your original investment out, leave your moon bag in. If you get lucky and it just pump 3 or 4 or 5x, again, take your original out, pay yourself something. But don't leave all of your money in hoping that it's going to go 100x so that you take $1,000 and make $100,000. I mean, that's not smart. It's not smart. It's not. Okay. What you do is you put $1,000 in, and when it 2x's, you take it out. And then when it goes up, you get 50,000 instead of 100,000, but you made $50,000 if it 100x's. And don't be mad at yourself because you didn't get $100,000. Be happy with yourself because you got $50,000. That's the thing that we fail to do. OTC was a mistake, to be honest. They buy, not affecting price, but dump via exchange affecting price. Pretty game move for institutions. Well, yeah, okay. I'm going to disagree with you slightly because the OTC desks, when they run out of supply, where do they get their supply? They buy on the open market. So ultimately, the market is moved by what happens over here. It's just not directly moved on that day. And the reason for that, the SEC didn't want manipulation. And by the way, every asset works the same way. Every asset kind of works the same way when they're not considered mature, for safety, to make sure that these ETFs are not wrecking, pumping and dumping markets and stuff like that. So now to get into the charts here, we're going to run here real quick. So for those of you that don't know, okay, I'm going to tell you a secret, and I'm going to hope that you understand that I'm giving you a wink. I'm giving you a nod, and I am telling you, I am not sure what's going to happen here. Okay. I am not sure at all, but I could be giving you a nice breakout candidate. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Here we go. Hey, y'all remember XVM Volt? Remember, we made a good bag off of this. Remember, we got in here. I had $350. It ran up super hot, right? And then my bag was something like $2,000 or $3,000 in just like that. Well, so it turns out that if you look at it from this standpoint, okay, I'm going to give it to you right here, and I'm going to show you something really, really cool. So Raher, let's get that shit out of the way. Right here, they got 3.1 million market cap, but only 13,000 in liquidity. Okay. So that's just kind of highly speculative. Okay. This is a very, very risky asset. Well, little birdie told me that the team is about to pump the shit out of the chart. If they put in all fairness, if they put in the same amount of liquidity that's in here right now, this thing's going to pump to like a 10 million market cap based on the mechanism here. So there is a real real possibility of a 10 or 20 or 30x coming out of XVM in the month of November. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm in a little chat over here. I'm going to reveal it to you, and if they don't like it, they can fucking, whatever. Where it go, where it go, where it be is go, where it be is go, where it be is go. There we go, right there. Good morning. Team will start doing a lot of buybacks soon on XVM. Okay. Up only season on XVM starts now. Don't listen to that. That's the noise. But the truth is, team will start doing a lot of buybacks on XVM. All right. So if they were to throw in again another 13,000, I think this thing goes up to 10 million, 20 million market cap. You know what I mean? So there's a real possibility that XVM Volt starts to run. I'm going to give you the contract address in here. I'm going to tell you that I have a bag. I'm not going to tell you that you should buy a bag, but I'm going to give you the information that I was presented. You can make what you want of that information. It was just on your screen. They're going to do some buybacks. Now, the other thing is when I say that they're going to do some buybacks, let's zoom out and let's find out where we should be looking to fully take profit and stuff like that. We're going to do it on the hour right now. 7 or 8 million market cap is going to be resistance. 13 million is going to be resistance right there too. What is this one? 10 million. 10 million is going to be resistance, but that's an easy 3 or 4x that we could be seeing happening right there. And if they're serious and if they're doing a great job and if they're really working it, they also allegedly have a very big announcement. If we go to Volt RWA, they haven't made any kind of announcement here officially yet. But if you come over to Twitter, future, JP Morgan is experimenting. They're executing. Regulators are moving. 200 million in tokenized gold just hit the chain. RWA ranked among the top 3 growth sectors. RWA market quietly expands. So, and again, this is their platform right here. So I would say that they're probably going to see some adoption happening. You're going to see a little bit of adoption happening. So once this thing starts to surge a little bit, and by the way, it's up 5% since we started talking about it. Well, 2%. It's up 2% since we started talking about it in the last little while. So there could be some opportunity here for you guys. And not a buy wall, by the way, not a buy wall, but I do think that there's going to be a big buy wall coming. So again, do it at your own risk and we'll see what happens. Accelerate is up to 5.8 million market cap. Again, it's double testing the top that it previously had, which was the dump zone from the last one at about 6 million market cap. If it breaks above that, then you're going to have some resistance at about a 12 million market cap. You're going to have some resistance at about a $8 million market cap. You have little bits of resistance, but when you look at this chart, like you can't be like depressed about it. There's not a whole lot of resistance here. There's just some resistance. So, this again is a pretty clean chart that did exactly what we expected to do. What did it do? It ran all the way up, ran all the way dumped, ran back up to the 236. By the way, you know what? I don't even know if that's the case. Let's just try it. Son of a bitch. It did exactly what I said. Ran all the way up, dumped, came back to the 236, dumping back down. What happens after it does this? Rounds back up and goes and tests the all-time high. So you could be seeing a nice little run on XCL. I do not have any XCL. I sold mine when I made a nice little profit off of it. So I'm just kind of following out of curiosity because I remember that Austin had a big bag of it. But remember, we all bought down here at 1 million market cap. So, even Austin, who put 30 grand in it, by the way, is up 5x at this point, if he hasn't taken any profit along the way. So what's not to love? You know what I mean? Take a shot on XCL. Also, API 3 is up 8%. Again, until anything breaks out there. And remember, I got that from Dr. Profit a couple years ago. So that's why I was holding on to it. I did the research. I liked it. I think that it's a better bridge than Chainlink. And I think that it will take some of Chainlink's thunder at some point. Just hasn't been found yet. Hasn't been found because we don't have the Clarity Act. But when we have the Clarity Act, things like API 3 are going to be discovered by institutional investors. Definity, same thing. Definity is dumping kind of, but again, Definity's use case is the Definity tokens give you a discount to Forex traders. The Forex trading in the month of September was 600 million on this platform. that is a huge number, or 300 million, maybe it's 300 million. The Forex trading on this platform is gigantic. Okay. The profits that they make are pretty good and pretty robust. So when you see these dumps happening, that's basically maybe somebody leaving that market, or somebody like me just kind of dumping it on the open market. But also look at this. Their market cap, 2.7 million, their liquidity, 107. Imagine if the XCL team throws 107 million or 107,000 in liquidity into theirs. This thing will go to a 30 million market cap on XVM. Not Definity, but XVM. So, and by the way, I still haven't had any conversation with Definity about, they didn't send me the tokens. So, we're watching it because I still have a bag, but not for any other reason. MK is up 7%. Fiat is up 6%. By the way, if you bought your Fiat yesterday, you're going to be up about 10% right now, because I fucking told you that, when this thing dips down into this range right here, it likes to spark a nice little rebound. So if you're in there right now, you're up pretty good. So boom, 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 boom. To be honest, I have no idea. I have no idea. Again, they pay me for one video. So, otherwise I don't work for them. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm just holding on to a bag, hoping for a pump, or wanting to see a pump. Or actually, I'm not even holding on to that one anymore. But I'm just watching it right now out of morbid fascination. And I know some of you guys are still holding it too, by the way, which is why we kind of look at it every few days or something like that. But again, I'm curious because Austin. Oh, by the way, I did reach out. Full disclosure, I haven't talked to Rodney in about a year and a half. I did reach out to Rodney and say, hey man, we should do a show once, maybe just kind of bounce shit off of one another and see how it goes. So I'll let you know if that comes to pass. TARS AI is at 4 cents right now. Again, another one that's going to have a big reversal. We're getting wiped out by the Clarity Act. The lack of the Clarity Act is causing a big problem. We're going to skip the rest of this. We are going to focus on OM Mantra. Just to let you guys know, OM Mantra is now, quote unquote, dead as a coin. So I think that the vote is going to go. By the way, the reason that I say that is not because it's actually dead. Like, don't sell your coins. But there was, I want to show you guys what the announcement was. Now, I disagree with the second part, but I agreed with the first part. And that was, where are we am? Where is we been, had, been, did, when had been, did, what been, had. Okay, so there we go. As we work to bring OM home, remember what's going on with Mantra right now. What's going on with Mantra right now is that they're moving all of their liquidity onto the chain because they don't want it to be fractured, because it's making whale investment much more prohibitive. Because, a whale puts in $1 million. Are they able to cash out $1 million on Ethereum and stuff like that? Not without wrecking the chart. Liquidity pool is not deep enough. So they're going to migrate liquidity pools over into Mantra. Now, in the meantime, they're also going to do this. They're putting up a governance proposal right now. Change the ticker from OM to Mantra, which I think is a brilliant idea. Rebrand it, because too many people look at OM and say, oh, dead. So a rebrand to Mantra is a great idea, because that's what we call it anyway. We don't call it OM. But the other one is a 1-to-4 token split, 2.5 billion to 10 billion max supply. So what does that mean? Well, that means I have 18,000 tokens. That means at the end of this, if it goes through, I'll have 72,000 tokens. They'll still be worth the same amount as they were before. There's no change in the dollar amount or the value of it. I'm not really sure why they feel it's necessary to do this. I just don't know. I disagree. I don't want to see that. But also, whatever, it's theirs. As long as they're going to send it to me and I get, like because I'm on an exchange. I'm holding mine on an exchange. I'm holding it on Weeks, or maybe KCX. Maybe I'm holding a KC. Yeah, actually, I'm holding on both of them. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so if they're going to do a token split, then they're going to increase their supply to 10 billion max. Then I'm just going to have some more. The other tokens will disappear, and the new tokens will be there, and they'll be called Mantra instead of OM. I think that's really great for brand recognition, and a new broom sweeps clean, if you will. So this could be a great opportunity for that revival that I keep telling you is coming, but we haven't seen yet. Again, I think the Clarity Act is a big reason for that not happening. So we'll see what happens. But get your, I think you should get some OM right now just for that split, just to see what happens. Also for Terra Luna Classic, it's starting to run just a little bit, but the rest of the market is running a little bit more. So this is not, you see a little pump in Terra Luna Classic. That's the reason is because, you know, it's not as nothing to do. It's just the overall market starting to move a little bit. My Bitcoin long is still in profit just a little bit. Looking for a much bigger run out of this as we start to bring some capital back into the market. Ethereum, the same thing. We're looking at all these. By the way, I cannot tell you guys, like, did I not give you this shit and tell you exactly where we were going to dump on the Trump meme coin? Guys, I mean, I got it almost to the dollar. Okay. I told you $8.75, right? It went to $8.67. You cannot get much closer. Guys, I'm calling these things like a madman. Now, the one thing that I can say about the Trump meme coin is I do think that it's ready for a reversal. I think we're going to start to see some real movement here. The 200 is still moving like it's going to go up, but it's at this point, it's kind of, you know, going to kind of sideways right here. This is about to curve to meet up with that. We get a little bit of a pump. We're going to get a golden cross, and it's going to absolutely break out. So if you don't have any Trump meme coin right now, be a perfect time for some accumulation. Zoom out just a little bit, start to look at it just a little bit, and then you see, oh, by the way, look at how much it went down to $1.55 during that Wintermute dump. And that means Wintermute has a bunch of Trump meme coin. So don't forget that. And remember that, you know, the other day I gave you this at $5.80. I said, you know, this is going to be the next range, right? $5.80. You just got a 50% pump off of the Trump meme coin in just like that over a couple days. So if you made a nice little profit to this point, depending on how much you put in, I would take my initial investment out right now and take my 50% bag and just hold on to the 50% bag, in my opinion. Okay. Just in case it starts to dip one more time and goes below that 50 MA, just in case that you know, in case I'm wrong and it lasts, the shutdown lasts just a little bit longer, in case they're not ready to get the government reopened. Okay. I do think that they are, but I don't know. Also, God damn it, man. These goddamn grifters are out of control. Remember what I told you? Remember what I told you, right? The other day, we were talking about Zach Humphreys. And look, I don't mean to disrespect Zach Humphreys, but I don't have any other way to do it. Not any other way to do it than to say, look at this shit. But Zach Humphreys is just acting like he invented Zcash. Like this dude is all in suddenly on Zcash, right? There it is. Top 3 gainers last 365 days. Zcash. Wink, 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 wink. And then you go down here. What's wrong with this take? Zcash looking ZE. All of a sudden, he's a big Zcash fan because look, they're trying to grift you to get you to pay attention. You know. Then you got my buddy Jesus. I can't make this shit up. Okay. Once you watch this, you'll understand why Zcash is going to $1,000. I cannot make this shit up. Okay. I can't make this shit up. I can't make this shit up, guys. So now they're all doing it. Now everybody, all of the people in the attention economy who are looking for your attention are going over to Zcash to show you $1,000. Shit like that. God damn it. I hate these fucking people, man. I fucking hate these people. I'm in the shadiest, seediest business that you can imagine. Talking about cryptocurrency. By the way, I had a great conversation with somebody the other day about doing something more with crypto in terms of maybe a TV show or something like that. Like I will reveal to you guys that I've had a conversation about something much bigger than what I'm doing right now. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but I feel that it's important to, number one, have a show where people can actually talk about crypto. I don't know if it's going to be me. Maybe I'm not that guy. But we need to have a serious show, a serious crypto show about serious crypto stuff. And it sure would be nice if it were me, but I don't know. But if we do that, bet your ass I'm going to be calling out a lot of MFers over their bullshit. And by the way, I'm going to like those people. I like Jesus. Classy crypto, for those of you that don't know. I like Classy. I don't have a problem with them, but you know, the grift is the grift, and I hate the grift. Okay. I hate the grift. It makes me uncomfortable, by the way. That's why we don't just pivot into what I like. We don't pivot into what's pumping. So I'm going to apologize to you guys. If you were looking for that, my bad. But also, let me also show you what's going on right now, because, baby, I gave you a runner and you got a goddamn run happening right MFing now. Tau is breaking the fuck out right now. Tau is almost to $500. Just went to $490 a few moments ago. We have, I want to say I have 5 Tau at this point. Also, I had to connect my, like I had to redo everything because they have a new the new way of doing things for the content briefs and stuff like that. There's a new method that they're using. So I just got approved for it and stuff like that. But I get paid every day instead of every week or something like that. You know, it's an easier mechanism for them to do. So, yeah, guys, Tau is no joke. BitTensor is the king of AI. Look at this. BitTensor is at 5 billion market cap right now. It's now double near protocol. Okay. BitTensor is the AI of the future. If you were, by the way, to go check out BitTensor, I don't want to do Tau scan. I want to do I just want to do BitTensor here. There you go. Very simple, nondescript, and then you've got like the docs, stuff like that. It's not for everybody, okay? This is just the blockchain. But what we do have is Autopia. You have something like Autopia that's built as a subnet here, and this is the decentralized marketplace for AI workers. Ta-da! If you want AI agents and workers who are working for you, Autopia is your place to go. There are, and by the way, there are plenty of different subnets that you can go look at. Void AI, Yuma Consensus. Let's go to Void AI BitTensor. Void AI, decentralizing intelligence. Now they've all got, they've all got their own looks and stuff like that, but let's launch there's the Void AI app. Here you go. You got to connect your wallet, and then you can do, you can stake and mine at Void AI. Then you have the leaderboard right here with their percentages, how much liquidity they've provided, stuff like that. Then you've got Synth. You got Synth data here. Succeed in financial model, the predictive intelligence model. All of the AI that you need in your life is right here on BitTensor. And like I told you guys before, at some point, it's going to be discovered and it's going to go absolutely bonkers. This is not it going absolutely bonkers, by the way. This is not bonkers, okay? This is just a magnificent little run. Now, if this run, if we assume that the bottom, by the way, without winter mute right here, if we assume that the bottom like this was actually right here, and we're getting that breakout, just to give you guys an idea, like if we saw a breakout similar to what we saw on that last big run up, and we use it from this little range right here, then we could be talking about a break up to $600, $700. So guys, BitTensor is, I'm liking what I see. Okay. I'm just going to tell you guys, I like what I see. I'm going to keep making BitTensor content. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep leaning into more BitTensor content, not because it's pumping, but because I like the fact that it's AI, it's at the forefront, and that at some point it's going to be discovered and go crazy. And it's a top 100 meme coin. God damn it. It's a top 100 crypto with a $5 billion market cap right now. And the potential for a $50 billion market cap. Fetch AI messed up. Okay. Fetch AI was the king. Render was the king. They've messed up. They haven't handled their brand appropriately. BitTensor has handled its brand appropriately. So a test up here at 720, probably coming up very soon. A nice little breakout above. If AI starts to really take off and crypto and AI kind of mash themselves together and sort of match up very well, then a $50 billion market cap. Remember, we're at $5 billion market cap today. $50 billion market cap. All the way up here. all the way up here. So, and by the way, here's my Tensor wallet. The emissions always change. I have like 5-bit Tensor, but the way you get paid on here is through already staked coins. So what I have is coins that are staked and the value is different. So I have 5, but it registers as 4.42. Yesterday was 4.67, by the way. Day before that was 5.07. So it just gets weird. It just gets weird. Then I go look at the value, and the value is going up as if I have 5. Like it's weird. It is a weird thing. And I hope that I think that that's a broken thing that they need to fix, but you know, not my bitch. So total value locked, 24-hour DEX volume. Guess what? 15 billion at the top, which means that we are seeing a surge. We're seeing a breakout. We're seeing things starting to happen. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to go trick or treat right now. I'm going to go door to door being like trick or treat. Beach or me, give me something good to eat, something like that. I don't know what the fucking thing is. I don't. Anyway, happy Halloween to everybody if you partake, and we'll see you guys again on Monday. Might do a live stream a little bit this weekend. Kind of working on some things, trying to do some stuff a little bit different. By the way, just to give you guys an update here, I am pissed off. Okay, I went to this company right here, Truth Cartel. Truth Cartel hired me for a video. The video just said, you know, Truth Cartel, stuff like that. So I did a Truth Cartel video. Then I sent it to them. They're like, what are you doing? We actually want you to do something different. So I was like, okay, no problem. And they wanted me to do WebEx International Holdings. WebEx International Holdings is a company in Hong Kong. I gave them the breakdown of it, 8521 WebEx International. You can see it's on CNBC, and you can see it on Bitcoin Treasuries Net, stuff like that. So I did the video. I did both videos, actually. I did both videos. And then after I did the videos, they're like, oh, I'm sorry we didn't reach out to you before. We decided to go in a different direction. So sorry you wasted your time. So if you ever see WebEx or Truth Cartel, know that I won't fuck with them. So if a video comes out, it will not be because of Truth Cartel or WebEx, because no, I do not like that shit. I don't mind. By the way, I do it for another company. So I do it at a discounted rate. So even my discounted rate, they stiffed me on. So fuck those guys. We're not going to do business with them ever again. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
They call me please, I'll do